Hey, what's up everyone?
Welcome back to Cashegories.
Today, we're diving deep into a crucial topic, the Russian sanctions and how they're now destroying the US dollar. We'll explore the details and provide context behind each example that shows just how these sanctions are impacting the United States and the US dollar. Before we dive in, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more incredible content.
Bellhop Bell.
Part 1, Russian Sanctions, a comprehensive overview. To understand the impact, we first need to know what the Russian sanctions are and why they were imposed. Sanctions are economic measures put in place by one country or a group of countries against another. In this case, the US and its allies have imposed sanctions on Russia due to its annexation of Crimea in 2014, its alleged interference in the 2016 US elections, and its involvement in the Syrian conflict, among other reasons. The sanctions imposed on Russia can be divided into several categories, such as 1. Financial sanctions, which limit Russia's access to global financial markets and hinder the ability of Russian banks to raise funds. 2. Energy sector sanctions, which target Russia's oil and gas industry, making it harder for them to access technology and financing. 3. Arms and defense-related sanctions, which aim to limit Russia's ability to upgrade its military capabilities. 4. Individual sanctions, which target specific Russian individuals with asset freezes and travel bans. What are your thoughts on the Russian sanctions?
Are they justified, or do you think they are causing more harm than good?
Let us know in the comments below. Down arrow. Part 2, How the sanctions work and the immediate impact. Now that we have a clear understanding of the background, let's look at how these sanctions are affecting Russia and the US. The main aim of these sanctions is to weaken Russia's economy and isolate the country from the global financial system. Some of the measures include freezing assets, banning travel, and prohibiting certain exports and imports. One major sanction imposed on Russia by the US is the exclusion of Russian banks from the SWIFT system, which is used for international financial transactions. This makes it difficult for Russian banks to conduct business with international partners. To give you some context, SWIFT is like the backbone of global banking transactions, connecting over 11,000 financial institutions in more than 200 countries. Losing access to SWIFT is a severe blow to any country's financial system. The US has also targeted Russia's energy sector, one of the pillars of its economy, by imposing sanctions on companies and individuals involved in the construction of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. This project aimed to bring natural gas from Russia to Europe, but the sanctions have hindered its completion. The Nord Stream 2 pipeline was designed to supply Europe with an additional 55 billion cubic meters of natural gas per year, further solidifying Russia's position as Europe's primary gas supplier. Part 3, Ripple effect on the US dollar and global reserve currency status. Alright, so now that we know how these sanctions work, let's explore how they are affecting the US dollar. The US dollar has been the world's reserve currency for decades, which means that countries around the world hold US dollars as a means of securing their financial stability. The demand for the US dollar is high, which keeps its value strong. Biceps. However, as the sanctions continue, countries like Russia are looking for alternative ways to safeguard their financial systems. Russia has been diversifying its foreign currency reserves by increasing its holdings of gold and the Chinese yuan. This means that they're reducing their reliance on the US dollar, which could weaken its position as the global reserve currency. In 2018, the Central Bank of Russia dumped $101 billion worth of US Treasury bonds, reducing its holdings to just $14.9 billion. This move was a clear signal of Russia's intent to reduce its reliance on the US dollar. It's worth noting that Russia's selling of US Treasury bonds also led other countries like Turkey and China to re-evaluate their holdings, creating a ripple effect. Russia has also been working on developing its own alternative to the SWIFT system, called the System for Transfer of Financial Messages, SPFs. This system, which has been under development since 2014, aims to reduce the impact of potential future sanctions on the Russian financial system. SPFs is now operational and has over 400 participating financial institutions, including major banks like VTB and Sberbank. Have you ever thought about the implications of the US dollar losing its status as the world's reserve currency? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Down arrow. Part 4. Unintended Consequences and the Emergence of Alternatives. The sanctions have also led to some unintended consequences that could hurt the US dollar even more. For example, Russia and China have been strengthening their economic ties, which could result in the creation of a new financial system that challenges the dominance of the US dollar. In recent years, Russia and China have signed numerous agreements to trade in their national currencies instead of the US dollar. This includes a 2014 agreement to settle bilateral trade in the Chinese yuan and the Russian ruble, bypassing the US dollar altogether. This move reduces demand for the US dollar, which could potentially weaken its value over time. Additionally, other countries affected by US sanctions, like Iran and Venezuela, have started exploring alternative financial systems and digital currencies. This further undermines the US dollar's role in international trade and finance. Iran has launched its own cryptocurrency called Payment, which is backed by gold. This move aims to bypass US sanctions and facilitate international transactions. Venezuela has also launched its own cryptocurrency called the Petro, which is allegedly backed by the country's oil reserves. These countries hope that by embracing digital currencies, they can circumvent US sanctions and maintain their economic stability. What do you think of countries developing their own financial systems and digital currencies? Are we witnessing a significant shift in the global economic landscape? Let us know in the comments below. Down arrow. Part 5. The Petrodollar System under threat. Another factor that could weaken the US dollar is the potential breakdown of the petrodollar system. The petrodollar system is a term used to describe the fact that oil is predominantly bought and sold in US dollars. This arrangement has been in place since the 1970s and has played a significant role in maintaining the US dollar's dominance. However, as the sanctions continue, Russia has been looking for alternatives to the US dollar in its oil trade. They have been increasingly selling oil in currencies other than the US dollar, like the Chinese yuan and even in cryptocurrencies. This move, if it continues, could further weaken the US dollar and its role in the global economy. In 2019, Russia's largest oil company, Rosneft, announced that it would switch its export contracts to euros instead of US dollars. This is a clear sign of Russia's intent to move away from the US dollar in its oil trade. The shift not only reduces demand for the US dollar but also strengthens the euro, providing a potential alternative reserve currency for the global market. How do you think the decline of the petrodollar system would affect the US and the global economy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Down arrow. Part 6. The US dollar's decline. What does it mean for you? So, now that we've explored the various ways in which the Russian sanctions are impacting the US dollar, let's talk about how this might affect you. Firstly, a weakened US dollar means that imported goods could become more expensive. This could lead to higher inflation and potentially lower living standards for many Americans. A weaker US dollar also means that the purchasing power of Americans abroad is reduced, making international travel more expensive. Secondly, the potential decline of the US dollar as the world's reserve currency could have broader implications for the US economy. It could reduce the demand for US Treasury bonds, leading to higher interest rates, which could negatively impact businesses, homeowners, and the overall economy. Downward trend. Higher interest rates can make it more expensive for businesses to borrow money, which could lead to reduced investments, slower growth, and fewer job opportunities. Lastly, a shift in the global economic landscape could lead to increased economic uncertainty, which could affect job opportunities and investment prospects. In a world where the US dollar's dominance is challenged, businesses and investors may be more cautious, potentially slowing down economic growth. How do you think the decline of the US dollar would impact your life? Are you worried about the future, or do you think the US will adapt? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Down arrow. Conclusion. There you have it, folks. We've unraveled the complex web of Russian sanctions and their impact on the US dollar. It's clear that the consequences are far-reaching, affecting not only Russia and the US but also the global economic landscape. As we continue to watch this story unfold, it's crucial to stay informed and adapt to the changes that lie ahead. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Russian sanctions and the US dollar. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more insightful content. Until next time, take care, and stay financially savvy. Cashegories signing off.